So what happens, or what have you seen happen when people ignore some of these areas of risk? If they go in and don't think through this, and don't really put a process in place that helps to reduce these risks, to address them and reduce them. I know you pay a lot of attention to that. What's the process for reducing risk? And that's what we're helping people do so that they can create a product with confidence. But what happens when we do work with people who are so excited about their idea and so confident that they have the right strategy that they hand wave these risk areas a little bit. What do you see happen when people don't pay attention to risk?
Well, when they don't pay attention to risk, there is a kind of exponential factor of, early on when we're in kind of strategy and design, there's effort to sort of develop your vision. But when we rush forward too fast into a build without digging into these areas of risk, the costs start to mount of, you're going to learn at some point, you're going to make this product, you're going to rush it to market, and then you're going to learn. But at that point, you've already committed to a tech stack, you've built the database, you've built the front end interface, and it is comparatively more expensive than to untangle things that could have been identified very early on. And that's a common scenario, is that teams work very hard to release a product on time and on budget. They get it out. It doesn't do what you were hoping that it would do in terms of engaging users, building market share. And you realize then that you built the wrong product, or you're not solving the right problem.
Yeah.
It could be a beautiful product and easy to use and well engineered, but it's not solving the right problem, and it could be expensive to untangle. Even further, if you get out products that need a lot of training, you've invested in marketing, customer support, those costs mount even higher, because if you're making really significant pivots at that point, there's cost associated with that. So what we try to do is really emphasize, and we talk a lot about it in our teams, is how do we balance rigor and speed? We do want to move quickly. We want to get you to market quickly. We want to get to code quickly so we can actually see and use and start to test software. But there are things up front. Where do we see the biggest risks, given those 4 buckets that we talked about? And how can we efficiently test that and start collecting some evidence that allows the team to pivot and shift when the cost to do that is comparatively so much lower?
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is the further you get into your product development process, the more expensive it is to address these risks. These risks exist.
Yeah.
You're going to bump into them at some point. They're unavoidable. So address them as early as you can with as little kind of expense as you can. When you haven't spent a lot of money, and of course when you get to building something and coding, that's probably the most expensive place to make changes.